you?
Doing good, how are you?
I'm good. My name's Ashley.
I'm Crystal.
This interview is going to be used for my public speaking class.
Okay.
The interview is going to evaluate my interviewing skills.
Okay.
What kind of job do you have?
I am a registered nurse.
What made you want to become a nurse?
Well, it's kind of a loaded question. I wanted to be a nurse, of course, when I was a little girl playing doctor and nurse with my sisters, and I was never allowed to be the doctor. I always had to be the nurse. So I kind of just got used to that mindset and mentality. When I was graduating from high school, I started college for nursing and kind of decided that's not what I wanted to do. So I went away from it and did a lot of other things and somehow kept leaning back on that. I want to be a nurse, I want to be a nurse, and I finally just did it. Nursing is very flexible. There's endless possibilities on the things you could do. You could do bedside nursing. You could always branch out and do administrative if you want to get away from that, and then do research. Really, there's anything you can do with it.
What is bedside nursing?
Bedside nursing is direct patient care. So what I do right now is I work for Carolinas Healthcare System in their orthopedics department. So I see people usually after surgery, if they've had a total knee replacement, total hip replacements, shoulders, every now and then a spinal surgery, but a lot of after surgery care, pain management, starting the rehabilitation process and things like that.
Well, what do you like about being an orthopedic nurse?
I like the direct patient care. I like really being able to get in there and see people and help people. I mean, nobody likes going through surgery. Nobody likes going through that process. Most of the patients that we see, it's scheduled, so they've been prepared and educated for what to expect and what's coming up, and you know, it's really painful ordeal. Once those spinal taps and the anesthesias wear off, there's a lot that goes into it psychologically and physically. So I really like being able to help manage that and get people through the process so that they can have, you know, a better way of life when they're done.
You said you work for Carolinas Healthcare System. What made you choose them to work for?
Carolinas Healthcare System, I don't know if you know, but it's actually the second largest hospital network in the entire country, superseded only by the VA. So it is, if you want to talk about possibilities, the way to go. You can really, really grow and develop as a professional, as a nurse, when you're working for a company like Carolinas Healthcare System. But I was also drawn to them because they do a lot of community outreach work. I personally love the idea of reaching out to the community and contributing in a positive way because there's so many negative things in the community. Carolinas Healthcare System does work with Habitat for Humanity. They do tons of fundraisers for children's cancer, tons of outreach. They actually have a force called Mobile One, and it's an 18-wheeler, you know, with a big trailer on the back, and it actually converts into a portable hospital. Operating room, hospital rooms, everything, and they actually do disaster response. So Hurricane Sandy, they went up to New Jersey to help with that. The recent tornadoes in the Middle East, they did a lot of outreach to try to help people get through those disasters. And I just think that's fantastic to give back to the community.
Would you be interested in doing the 18-wheeler?
I think that it would be something I would love to do. I would love to do something like that full time, but of course that's all volunteer work. So you have to be a little stingy with your time when it comes to things like that because you do have to still be at the hospital 3 days a week. So you have to work that out with your nurse managers to get into it. But I would love to take advantage of an opportunity like that to be able to help the community.
Well, what's your short-term goals with the company?
Right now, my short-term goals are just to grow and develop in my skills and interpersonal communications, working with people from other departments such as, you know, therapy, the physicians, administration, to try to learn as much as I can, not only about CHS, but about hospitals and patient care and the newest technology that's out there. So just growth and development right now.
Well, what's your long-term goals with the company?
Well, my hope is that within the next 2 to 3 years I'll get my bachelor's degree. There's not a lot of difference as far as the bachelor's degree goes with bedside nursing and the skills that you have, but it does open up some of the doors for some of the more administrative responsibilities. And then hopefully within the next 7 years I'll be able to get my master's degree and become a nurse practitioner, and I would like to go into family practice to do family care, so you can see people across the entire spectrum, children, adults, geriatrics, and just really do a little bit of everything.
So you don't want to be tied down to just one specialty?
No, if you want to be tied down to one thing, why go into nursing?
So how can Carolina's healthcare system help you achieve your goals?
I think that, with Carolina's Healthcare being such a huge company, it's really the best way to go. You can get into anything. They do the research, they do surgery, they do primary care, they do acute care, emergency, traumas. Actually, CHS is the only level 1 trauma center here in the Charlotte area. So they see like the sickest people. There was a survey done last year. So CHS actually cares for only 2 hospitals care for people that are more sick than what we care for people here at CHS. So I think that the growth and development is endless because of what a huge network it is, but also the care that you provide is endless because you can see so many different things across a huge spectrum. Things that you would never run into at other hospital networks, where they come into the other hospital and they say, hey, let's send them to CMC. And we're the ones who kind of pick that up and take care of those people. So I think that's, it's just a huge opportunity. I keep saying opportunity, but that's what it is.
But you said that you want to become a nurse practitioner. Now, is that something that you can branch off with Carolina Healthcare Systems with, or do you plan to do your own, like open up your own practice, or branch off with in another practice of CHS?
Well, I think the ultimate goal, like the 20-year plan would be to have my own practice. Just like if you go to the doctor's office and you take your son to the doctor's office to work in a setting like that. Of course there's tons of different specialties and things that you can go into, and I feel like I'm the kind of person who would always want to try a couple different branches before I ended up in that primary care setting. Emergency, of course, is always a big one because you see everything from infected teeth to full codes, GI bleeds, people who are really on their deathbed. So being in the emergency department can really help you to see a vast array of things and to learn as much as you can, so that when you finally end up with that 20-year plan in the primary care setting, it's hard to find something that you haven't seen already.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day and saving people's lives to come have this interview with me.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, until I talk to you again, have a great day.
Thank you.